Learn how to write March in calligraphy. We will show you a variety of different styles and pens that you can use to do calligraphy with, starting off with faux calligraphy. In faux calligraphy, you can use any pen, you don't have to have a special calligraphy pen, to create the look of calligraphy. So you'll see as I'm writing here, I'm first drawing the main skeleton of the letter, and then I'm going in and adding a second line to thicken the stroke just like you would see in calligraphy, but instead of using the pressure of a pen to do it, I'm manually adding a second line. You will always put the second line on the downstrokes of the letters, so anywhere where the letter is coming down towards the baseline, that's where you're going to thicken it, and anywhere that the stroke is going upward or horizontally, you're going to leave it as a thin line. So this is faux calligraphy. You can choose to, at the end, leave all of these gaps within the letters open, or you could go fill them in. Next up is brush pen calligraphy, so rewriting the word the same style, but this time instead of having to add the strokes manually by going back and adding the second line, you see that the thick strokes are kind of automatically happening. And the way that this is happening is by using more pressure on the pen. So as I press harder on the pen, the stroke gets thicker, and as I press lighter, it's thinner. And it's the same rules for upstrokes and downstrokes. So no matter what style you're doing, like if you're doing bounce lettering in this example, you still press harder on the downstrokes and lighter on the upstrokes when you're using a brush pen. And for bounce lettering, you can add a little bit more style and creativity by switching up the baseline and adding some more open curves. Now we have iPad calligraphy, so I'm using an Apple Pencil to write on the screen of an iPad. There are so many benefits to doing iPad calligraphy because, as you just saw, you can press undo. The shortcut is pressing with 2 fingers on the screen to undo a letter that you don't like, and then you can just start over. So that's one way you can write March, again, using an iPad. Next up, we're going to move to Copperplate Script. So this is a more traditional style of calligraphy using a modern tool. So this is a brush pen that we're using here. Jordan's writing March using a small tip brush pen in the Copperplate style. So you'll often see this style written with a pointed pen as well, but you can definitely do it with modern tools. And this is just a very classic traditional way of writing it. And pretty much all the calligraphy that we teach is based on this style. So once you have the basics of that style, then you can add additional embellishments on top, like flourishes, as you're seeing here. So we're taking the main base of the letter and adding some swirls to it, some additional embellishments to make it look a lot more fancy. So it's always good to have a really strong foundation of the base letters, and then once you know how to do the letters themselves, you can think about adding extra embellishments, whether it's on ascending loops or at the end of the word or underneath the word or on your capital letters. Lastly, we have Spencerian. Spencerian is a different style of penmanship. So we just showed you Copperplate, but Spencerian is another historical script that looks quite different, as you can see. There's a lot less shading happening on the letters, only in certain spots. But the cool thing is about Spencerian is that you can add some really, really fancy looking flourishes like you're seeing here. And again, you can use a pointed pen for this, or you can use something like a brush pen that Jordan's using here. Spencerian is also a bit smaller in scale than Copperplate. You can see it's a little bit, the letters are shorter and a little bit smaller. So that is how you can write March in different styles of calligraphies using different pens. Check out the description for the blog post that links to all of these pictures and pens if you're curious, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.